Hello, awesome people. Welcome to VP's Wealth Radio Show. This is Vijay Prakash, author of Amazon #1 best-selling book, Slumdog Investor. So, today being Friday, as per our ritual, we are supposed to take a lesson on entrepreneurship, right? So, I specifically want to talk to people who want to become an entrepreneur or already in the journey of entrepreneur, and especially with the people who are into B2C space, that is business to customer space. And as our today's topic suggests, that we are going to talk about social currency. So let me ask you the fundamental question. What is the value of your social currency? If you are into business to customer space, then what is the value of your social currency? Now, let me define what is the meaning of a social currency. Social currency is nothing but your customers' willingness to share information about you. You know, either in terms of the post which you share, the videos which you share, the blogs which you share. You know, it is more like likability. You know how much customer loves you, because if your customer does not love you, trust me, you are not going to make a lot of money, isn't it? So the fundamental question what I want you to ask to yourself is, what is the value of your social currency? Okay. Now let's look into the psychology, right? So why do customers share any information, or why somebody shares any information? You remember, I mean, you used to watch a good movie. You have a tendency to share to your friend, hey, you know what, that movie is really good. You know, you buy a certain kind of a cloth. You know, you say to your friend, hey, you know what, I think that's the brand in which this is something available at a discount, or this is something which is very, very good. So this is not something new. We have tendency of sharing, which is already there in the nature, right? Why do we share? There are two reasons. One is the sense of belongingness, right? We want to belong to a certain group, or we want to belong to a certain tribe, which we like, right? And the second thing is, if you are in the tribe, the sense of being significant. You know, how do I prove to people that I am significant, right? These are the two major reasons due to which people share: the sense of belongingness and the sense of significance. Now, very often people talk about, you know, I share, I mean, I add value to people. You know, I want to add value to people, or I add massive value to people. So let us define the value, and always remember, value is always defined from the customer point of view, not your point of view. Okay. If you are sharing a content, it does not mean that you are adding a value. If you are sharing a content, and if your customer is consuming it thinking that it's a value, then only it's a value. Mere sharing a post is not a value, right? So take a look. Let's take a look at what are the four types of values which we can add in the marketplace. So the first type is a more of a utility. You know, so can you give something to your customer which can be for use? So this is something you would have seen that, you know, during the vote time, these different parties will be having their different stalls, and they will ensure that well in advance, you know, they have their chits ready in which all the details are there. That is more like a getting them utility in advance. Similarly, sometimes there is some IPO comes, or some form is required, so companies will be there, you know, to provide you the form, or those kind of a thing. So it is more like a utility based value, because that brand wants to create their impression in your head, right? The second type of value is the knowledge. I mean, all of us know, and we are in the YouTube world, right? And so knowledge sharing is again a way to add value. But always remember this, you know, as I said, you share the content, it does not mean you add the value. Maybe the content what you are sharing is not even required, or there are people who are already sharing the ample amount of content. So Identifying your niche is very, very important, right? Identifying your niche is very, very important, that what knowledge are you sharing. You really need to dig down. The third type of content is very, very easy to understand, which is the entertainment, right? I mean, either you tell a joke, or people make a funny video, or they do a meme, more of for the entertainment purpose, right? And fourth type of value is in terms of a monetary, right? In terms of a monetary. And why do you do all these things, right? So monetary is more like, how do you benefit your customer? You get your friends, you get some coupons, or which you pass on to your customer or your friend, you know. So all these value you add in the marketplace. Why? Because if you are a business, you want to grab the attention. I'm pretty much sure by this time your attention would have gone to the spelling of attention, which is wrong. And that I have done intentionally because I wanted to grab your attention. So the quite big question is, are you able to grab the attention of your customer in a right way, right? Because understand, this social media is very, very cluttered space, very, very cluttered space now, right? Everybody is posting, everybody is putting content, right? And if you put some content on the social media, let's say you post a content on the Facebook thinking that your customer will be able to see, but there are so much content already out there, right? Now, if I look at all the social media, I think YouTube is the one which has definitely an edge over the other platform. The reason is very, very simple, because when you post a video, because YouTube is a search engine, right? It is not like a Facebook or that kind of a platform. So if you post on Facebook, and then there are so many posts comes, and your post gets lost. But if you look at the YouTube, first of all, your information is in the video form, right? It gets documented, and some of the videos are ranking even from the years. So I would definitely encourage you to go and take the leverage of YouTube. I mean, if you are in a B2C space, business to customer space, and if you're not present on YouTube, then definitely you are losing a lot of business to your competitors. Okay, great. Let's move on to point number 2. Now, second thing, what you have to remember, and I'll discuss about the recent case study. One of my client approached me, and he wanted to write a book, and he had already kind of finalized a deal with one person, already finalized that person. And knowing me, being my friend, he actually approached me, and he asked me, hey, you know what, I have finalized on this person. He's a publisher, and he's saying that he has done so many books. So can you have a look? I am thinking of signing a contract with this person, and tell me that if I can go ahead, right? Now, why did that person reached out to me? Because there was a trust. Why there was a trust? Because there is a proof of concept. I am already a published author. That's the reason he reached out. Now, when I checked the digital footprint of this publisher, I started reviewing about that customer. I could found very few books. So this person claims to be a Amazon #1 bestseller. Helping people write book, things like that. He is doing it. But when I look at the work of this particular person, I see a very shabby cover design. I see a not the great kind of a work, right? So digital footprint is very, very important. So how do you create? You have to ensure that whatever activity or whatever valuable things you are doing, you are putting that in a social media, because that is something which is going to act as a digital proof for you. So when I say that I started writing my book journey 4 years ago, people go and check my Facebook profile, and they can really see that book writing journey started 4 years ago, and then it failed, right? So when I say that I conduct a program for people, there has to be a proof of that. Because what do you do nowadays? First thing what you do is go and check review about the people, right? When I say I have gone and learned from some of the best masters in the world, there is a digital proof of it. So check your digital footprint, because if your digital footprint is not there, whatever you claim, people are not going to believe it. So document your programs. Ensure that you take a lot of good quality pictures, not like just take a picture. Take a good quality picture, very, very important. Okay, take the testimonial. Don't ever forget to take the testimonial from your client. You know, you have to be a little pushy, but take a genuine. You know, don't pressurize your customer to give you a feedback. Take a genuine feedback, and there is a structure which you can build and get a genuine and a good feedback for yourself. Of course, very, very important is you have to give that kind of a service to your customer. So digital footprint, very, very important, because this will help you big time in growing the value of your social currency. Okay, let's move on to point number 3. Now, this is something which quickly I will touch upon, and this is called as the customer value journey, right? Now, if you have a digital footprint in place, right, and if you are somebody already accomplished, then this cycle will be cut short, right? So you go to the first stage when your customer like gets to know you for the very first time. You know, the first stage is awareness. He will just get to know that you exist, right? Then in your funnel you will have some way to engage him, right? And once he engages with you and he sees value in your content, then he is going to subscribe to you, right? Once he subscribes to you, the trust is at a very, very lower level, but I mean, he is interested, right? And this is where what you do is you go and sell him a small product of yourself, and this is where you convert him. Now, the rule here is whatever product you are selling him, you know, you have to give, as Grant Cardone says, 10x value, right? Now, for the price, let's say he's paying you 1,000 rupees, you ensure the value what you give is worth 10,000 rupees. And that brings him to a excitement stage. Anybody who gets something which is 10 times, you know, he will get excited, right? Because he knows anything which I'm going to buy from this person, he is going to give me a 10x value, right? And this is where he will ascend. And let's say now you have sold a product worth 1,000 rupees, you pitch him something worth 10,000 rupees. And he knows that, you know, because this is coming from this person and he is somebody who is ready to give value, you know. And you can definitely attach a money refund policy when you are selling something around 10,000 rupees, maybe a 7 days or something. And you have to ensure you build it in such a way that somebody who is buying from you is not able to consume your content in 7 days. This is how you will have to do, right? So if he's paying you 10,000 rupees, you ensure you give him again 10x value, which is 1 lakh rupees, right? And when this happens, he becomes your advocate, because he knows with this true experience that this man is going to give me all this 10x value for all the prices which I'm going to pay. And trust me, this is what is my core philosophy, right? That every time, whatever single penny you pay me, you should get a value 10 times. My book, if you pay me a 999 for my book, you are definitely going to get 10,000 rupees of the value, right? And then he becomes your advocate. You know, some people, even they will come and criticize and they will say, hey, I don't think he's a good person. He is going to be an advocate for you, right? And then he is the one who becomes your super fan, and he is going to promote you. Now, I have very simply explained this thing, but there is a lot of work which is involved here, right? Telling about the step is the easy, but then there is a work which needs to be done here. It's not that easy. It's simple, but it is not easy, you know. Okay, that brings me to point number 4. Now, a lot of people talk about you know, I am adding a massive value to people. I am you know, I believe in adding massive value, but you really need to examine this. When you say this, to how many people are you talking about adding this value to? 2 3 people, 4 5 people, 10 people, or what? So majority of the people, I would say 95% of the people, are in the stage of convenience. They are convenient even if they are doing YouTube videos, getting few clients here and there. But there is difference between convenience and conviction. Okay, if you have conviction in your product and services, then you need to reach out to large number of people, you know. Now it will vary from a person to person. It could be I mean, if you are serving 5 to 10 people, then you reach out to 100 people at least. If you are already serving 100 people, then you reach out to 1,000 people. You always compete with yourself, not with anybody, right? If you're somebody who has been a local, then reach out to the district or the state level, right? So get out from this convenience and take your products and services to more number of people with conviction. Okay, it is not just serving few people, it is about serving large number of people. Whatever number of people you were serving, I just want you to multiply as per the 10x rule of Grant Cardone, multiply it by 10 and go with your conviction to your audience and serve large number of people. This is where the big money is. Okay, very important. And the fifth and the foremost thing what you have to look for is is the simplicity, right? Now simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. Albert Einstein says, any fool can build a complex system, but it takes the touch of a genius to simplify it. So whatever services you are providing, take a look that, is there a way to simplify people's your solution, what you are providing to people? How can you make people's life easy? So I'll give you some of the example. For our automation, we use ClickFunnels. Now, if think about that, if ClickFunnels was not there and not there, those who have used, they will be able to relate to it, and those who have not used it, there is a 14-day trial which is there. You can go and check it out. And if you have to write a code, it was a really complex process. Similarly, in terms of automation, if Zapier was not there, it is very difficult to write a code and automate the things, right? So people are looking for solutions in a simple way, in a simpler manner. So look at how can you simplify for your customer. How can you solve a problem in a simple way rather than in a complex way. Though it looks simple to tell, but this is something which will give you a lot of opportunity to explore. Okay. Now, last but the least, I'm really fan of Dan Lok. I watch all of his videos and I go through all of the courses what he has created. I have most of his courses. So he says, I make videos to create wealth and autonomy, to create powerful personal brand, to make bigger impact in the world, to document my life and the progress, to hold myself accountable. Okay. So this is for me copy and paste. So this like, share, comment, we say that, but then ultimately it is all about holding yourself accountable for adding, value in people's life, right? So hope you would have liked this video, and I would encourage you to build your social currency, right? And take your business to next level. So friends, what I want you to do is I want you to comment. How did you feel about this video? And what is the subject in entrepreneur about which you want me to create a video? Okay. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for listening. And I will connect with you again tomorrow.